The night I grew up. I had just turned 18. I'd hoped the day would be memorable, and by all early signs it would be. My girlfriend Ava had hinted as much with a playful smile the day before. We were both in our final year of school, in the same class even. She was 4 months older, and from the moment we started dating the previous summer, we'd been inseparable. We were ambitious teens, top of the class, dreaming of getting into the same university. We imagined our lives unfolding side by side. Love back then felt like destiny. Ava stood out. In a school full of pretty girls, she had a quiet magnetism. Her legs were long, her figure lean, and while she didn't flaunt herself like some of the others, there was elegance in her restraint. She made it clear from the beginning. She was saving herself for the right moment, and I respected that. Still, I hoped that my 18th birthday might be the moment. We had kissed, touched, and explored like most couples do at that age, but there were lines she hadn't let me cross. We started the evening at a popular pub in town. I'd been there before, but this was the first time I walked in as an adult. Legally. "A pint of amber draft and a gin with lemon, please," I said, stepping up to the bar with a mix of nerves and pride. The bartender glanced at me. "How old are you?" 18, I said. "Today's my birthday." He didn't smile. "Got ID?" "I didn't bring it," I admitted. "Didn't think I'd need it." "Sorry, kid. No ID, no drink." I felt the floor give out beneath me. He pointed to a sign, "No exceptions." I trudged back to Ava, trying not to show how crushed I was. "They wouldn't serve me," I told her. "Do you have your license?" Her face twisted in annoyance. "You asked me out, and now you want me to buy drinks." Still, she rolled her eyes, tossed her blonde hair over one shoulder, handed me her jacket, and headed to the bar. But she stopped twice chatting with some older guys. One of them even slapped her on the butt, and she giggled. That stung more than I wanted to admit. She returned with a gin and lemon for herself, and handed me a glass of orange soda. "That's not beer," I said. "He wouldn't give me any." "Probably saw I was with you," she replied flatly. I tried to hide my embarrassment, but inside I was burning. Ava, meanwhile, looked around the pub with giddy excitement. She pointed out people she knew, mostly older guys, and seemed oblivious to my discomfort. And then he appeared. "Yo, Nate," came a voice from behind me. Turned. It was Jason. 5 years older, bigger, stronger, and my old neighbor. He used to make my life hell, but lately he'd stopped picking on me. Once he even stood up for me. "This is my girlfriend Ava," I said. "You might have seen her around." Jason grinned. "You mean the schoolgirl in the short skirt? Damn, didn't think they let students dress like that anymore." Ava batted her eyelashes. "You used to date my cousin, remember? Georgina." Jason laughed. "No way. You're little Ava. Damn, you grew up." They started reminiscing. I stood there, feeling like a ghost, as Jason slid into the seat next to her. His jokes got bolder. His arm found her shoulders. Ava leaned into him like I wasn't even there. I tried to speak, to steer the evening back to what it was supposed to be, but they barely acknowledged me. Finally I snapped. "Okay, I'm leaving." "Ava, are you coming or not?" She blinked at me, confused. "Where?" "Out of here. With me." "I'm fine here," she said. "I'm not," I snapped. "I'm done." "Oh, Nate," she murmured, almost laughing. "I forgot it was your birthday." Jason looked over, mock sympathy on his face. "Hey, you haven't had a drink yet, birthday boy. Let's fix that. Come on, let's go somewhere more relaxed." Against my better judgment, I followed them to the parking lot. Jason tossed me his BMW keys. "You drive. You're sober." I hesitated. I'd only ever driven a beat-up Ford in lessons. But a BMW. It was too tempting. I slid into the driver's seat and followed his directions, ignoring the growing unease in my gut. "Watch the road," he said from the back. I adjusted the rearview mirror and caught a glimpse of him with Ava. They were kissing. His hand was on her blouse, undoing it. I nearly crashed. Where are we going? I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. My place, Jason said. There's beer there. When we pulled into the driveway, Ava was half undressed, her blouse open and her bra gone. Jason tossed the bra at me. Here, Nate. Hold this. That was it. I sat there in silence as they stumbled inside, wrapped around each other. I should have driven home. I almost did. But instead, got an idea. I turned the key and pulled the BMW back onto the road. I drove across town to the park where some of my classmates were hanging out. When I pulled up, jaws dropped. Flashy black paint, leather seats, chrome rims. Jason's pride and joy. Lindsay, Jane, Mariah. All girls who'd barely looked at me before, swarmed me. Is that your car? Can I get a ride? Are you free later, Nate? And then she appeared, Maya Holloway. The queen of our year. Legs for days, a smirk like sin, and a reputation for eating boys alive. But when she saw me behind the wheel of that car, she smiled like I was the prize. You giving rides, Nate, she purred. Hop in. We drove to the playground. Everyone knew what that meant. And yeah, we went there. An hour later, as Maya straightened her clothes and teased me about my hidden talents, she asked, Was that really your first time? Absolutely, I said, heart pounding. She kissed me again, softer this time. Let's not tell anyone. I want to keep you to myself. But she did tell. Everyone. Word spread like wildfire. I was no longer the shy, awkward nerd. I was Nate, the guy who drove a BMW and blew minds. Even the girls who once laughed at me started lining up. Maya was fair. She kept Sundays and Thursdays for herself, but let me explore the rest of the week. And the car. I dropped it off at Jason's house in the dead of night. Parked it perfectly. Left the keys in his mailbox. Never said a word. But word got out anyway. And from that day on, I wasn't the guy who got dumped on his birthday. I was the guy who grew up.